Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Sol Dacres here in London. Sol Dacres here, but no David Adeleye today. How are you doing, Sol?
Yep, I'm good, man. I'm here. I turned up. I'm doing all right, man.
Exciting times for you, and I know this fight has been in the works for quite a while. We thought we were there a couple of months back. We're finally here now, hoping it does go ahead on July 20th.
Yep, it should be going ahead this time. You know, the name's on the poster, the contracts are signed. So I'm here. I just need him to show up and all systems go.
When he doesn't show up to something like this, does this put any doubt in your mind over whether the fight will happen or not?
A little bit, because obviously I turned up for the press conference before when we were supposed to fight on the March 16th card. And obviously he didn't turn up to the press conference and ended up not, turning up for the fight, accepting the fight at that time. So, there is me thinking the same thing could happen again, but I'm hoping, it's all penciled in this time and we should be getting it on.
Do you see it as a little bit disrespectful? You travelled a couple of hours from Birmingham to get here. He's obviously a London boy and he's not here on time. We don't know if he's going to be here at all.
Yeah, no, I just think, he's doing what he wants to do. I ain't thinking too much into it. If you don't want to turn up, you don't want to turn up. It's out of my control.
How do you view this fight with David Adeleye? I think a lot of people looking on will see it as a 50-50 fight. You're both in a similar sort of stage of your career. You're looking to push on and move towards that British level.
Yeah, it's a fight for me where, it's a little step up on paper, but I believe it's something I'm more than capable of taking care of with great fashion.
And the doors that this could open, I mentioned the British title there. We don't know, obviously, Fabio we're expecting to face Fraser in a rematch, but if he was to win that, the belt could become vacant and that could be your name ready to be thrown into that.
Yeah, I'm ready for the British title next. That's what I wanted when I moved to Queensbury. We've got Adelaide next, and then hopefully the British title next is what we're definitely looking for.
How has it moved since your career, since you've moved to Queensbury? Because I know you had the fight in, I think it was November time, and it'll be 7-8 months by the time you get back in the ring. Has it been a bit slow in your opinion?
Yeah, it has, because obviously as soon as I saw me Frank, I was straight out on a short notice fight. It was late notice, a last minute call up to go on the card. So I only had 2 weeks. So I turned up, I won the fight, but I wasn't in great shape. I wasn't really having a good performance, but I just thought I'd get straight out. So obviously I'm keen to get straight back in, and I've got proper camp. I'm in good shape now and show what I'm really about. But it got delayed from March again, so things are out of my control. Though. All I can do is stay in the gym, keep working and doing my part.
And a chance for you to perform in front of a home crowd. How much pride does that give you performing in front of Birmingham?
Yeah, it's great. It's something that we need to just keep building on, because more shows we can get in Birmingham, the better fighters we got, local. We got guys like Liam Davis, who's not too far away, Telford, who can come and put the shows on. Nathan Heaney's only Stoke, it's not too far from Birmingham, bringing loads of fans down. So, it's something we can really build on, and I think we can really be a good little base for boxing there.
Yeah, we've seen that being done for fighters. Chris Billum-Smith is one that comes to mind down in Bournemouth. There's fighters up in the northeast that have really built sort of a crowd and a home for themselves as well. You've got that arena there. Is that moving forward? You're going to be selling that arena out yourself?
We hope so. That's the aim. Every fighter's aim and dream is to be fighting for big titles in their hometown. So it's no different with me. Birmingham's a massive city, but for boxing we just need to tap into that, because we're not really tapping into that as much. And we just got to build it, I think, by regular shows, regular wins, we'll build it up.
That heavyweight division is on fire at the moment, and we're seeing a lot going on out in Saudi Arabia. Is that something that sort of pops into your mind as a goal down the line?
Wherever the money's at, that Saudi seems like where the money's at. If I get that call to go Saudi and the money's nice, I can't turn it up, can I? But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to fight wherever. I want to keep winning, and I want to just continue my journey to becoming a world champion, and wherever that takes me, that's where I got to go.
I'd like to get your reflections on the weekend, Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. Incredible performance, I think you would have to say, from Oleksandr in the ring on Saturday night. How did you view it?
Yeah, exceptional, exceptional fight. The two top guys fighting for the undisputed after all these years. It's never going to be a breeze either way. Fury was, after 6-7 rounds, looking really sharp, looked like he'd found his timing. And, Usyk, exceptional champion, kept his temperament, made a few adjustments, hurt Fury, turned the tide back in his favour. it was, the highest quality of fights you can have.
Where did Fury go wrong in your opinion? Because those middle rounds, he was certainly starting to dominate, and I think it was round 7 or 8 where the tide really turned. Where did it go wrong?
I think obviously he got caught with a good shot, which probably took a lot of the wind out of his sails, and I think he maybe needed to, build on it, maybe put the pressure on a little bit more, and I think the 11th and 12th round, he sort of coasted through them, he got through the rounds, whereas I think he could have just, put his foot on the gas for the last 2 rounds, secured himself a win there. So I think he'll be analysing that for the rematch.
I know his team were telling him that he was 2 rounds left, he was winning the fight, and he just needed a box for those last 2 rounds. That not the right advice at the time.
You can't leave it in a close fight like that. You can't leave it into chance, especially with 2 rounds. Winning those rounds is most important. So you want to just secure these wins and secure the rounds. So he needs to make sure that he really puts his foot on the gas a bit more at the end.
Do you see any outcome where Fury won that fight? Because he thought he won the fight.
I thought it was very close. I wasn't really scoring it as I went. I feel like without that knockdown, the scored knockdown, he could have nicked it, Fury. And I thought if he'd won the 11th or 12th, he could have also got it. So it's close. And you got to remember, he's a man that's not been defeated in the ring. He doesn't know how to lose. So when he's had a good fight, he's automatically thinking he's going to win, isn't he? Because he's not used to that loser's feeling. So, for him, he's not really going to know really if he felt like he lost or not, because he's never lost before in the pro ring. So it's one of them.
He's obviously triggered the contract to get the rematch sorted for mid-October. That seems quite a quick turnaround from mid-May. If you were in his shoes, would you be keen to get it back on so soon?
Oh, definitely, because I'd want to just get my momentum back, get back in there, and not get myself out of shape too much and get myself rolling again. And I'd want to just be hungry to get myself back in there.
What does he need to do in that rematch to right the wrongs, in your opinion?
Just build on what he did in the early rounds and had that success. Probably watch out for a few shots that he caught, overhand left, and maybe use a bit more of his size, and put his foot on the gas a bit more.
With Fury losing, do you believe this takes Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua even further away now?
I don't know. Could be even closer, because they're both not at the top of what their peaks were. So it's just a big name fight at the end of the day. I think the fight is for their names, really.
Final thing from me, come July 20th, Sol Dacres against David Adeleye. How does it end?
And still, English heavyweight champion. That's all I can say.
Sol Dacres, cheers for your time, mate.